I guess you never want to actually, have to realize, right? Say that in February of 2011, I was told or I knew that it wouldn't matter what you said or did, an animal was not going to stop charging to murder you, okay? And that you were going to have to run away from an animal for at least 15 years. It's not about losing hope. It's about giving, an uplift and stuff to the people that are constantly made to just feel like you're going to go mad and that this is never going to end. It is going to end, okay? But unfortunately, the way it's going to end is the entire land piece is going to be cleared of all people. My species will rebirth as the other species continues to die off from cancer. They have no hope of survival, none. Almighty. It's just amazing what Almighty God can make a brain think, isn't it? So the man with the nukes, again, because it's not the first time, informed a population of criminals. If you want to live, all you have to do is house these hostages. That's all you have to do is give us housing. And in their minds, in their misery, because they don't want to live anymore, they don't want their children to live, they don't want their grandchildren to live, they don't want to live anymore. They don't want their families to live anymore, they don't want to live anymore. It makes sense that everybody should have to die. You don't agree to take fentanyl drinks, and then other people maybe can allot housing. You don't do that, okay. It's just that is going to make sense, and that's what is making sense. So there's no reason to panic and flip out because it's making sense. Not you ever had to shut me off of social media or deny me a phone or any of that. None of it was needed. It's almighty. You see panic in the streets? Hi, babe. No, you're not. You seem actually better. That's good. That's the point of the speech the man gave. He said in his speech it's intended for the hostages. We just, the same thing. He's got an appointment Tuesday. We're going to apply to see if we can get into the shelter, and we have a trip. We're going to New York City on December 30th for the day for Auntie Eve, and then we have a ship we're scheduled to get on January 4th for a vacation off of this land piece. Yes. Huh? We're almost paid in full. We got $124 to pay. He gets paid on the 2nd, so as long as we have money for till the next pay cycle for the CBD and the tobacco and tubes. He has $28, so the trip will be paid off on the 2nd. What's today? Your appointment's the 30th, so it's 2 days after that. We're almost paid in full. We have to buy the bus ticket back from New York City for Auntie Eve, yes. And that's the last 2 things, right? That's pretty good, babe. That's the last 2 things in snorkel gear. Maybe the arcade. So we don't plan to make a bill on the cruise ship. We paid our gratuities already. It was included in what we paid. We're not planning, if without housing, we don't need an electric bill, so we don't care that someone made an electric bill. That makes no meaning to us. We might get Social Security. I got a hearing on November 4th. That's before my trip. So if we get that, he has a Social Security case. You can do Social Security anywhere in the country. Right, we'll know by the trip if after the trip we can leave Massachusetts. So hopefully they went to New York City, right, the UN Assembly, and opened up some closed toilets. That would be fantastic. We got Starbucks closing. I explained it's not exactly a punishment, like laying off people. Hopefully they can get unemployment and they won't be facing pending charges, like they explained to you, and work somewhere else if they need to work. You're expecting people to look us in the face and tell us we can't have hot water. So you people have housing, you plug in a coffee maker, they have those Keurigs if you're losing the ability to measure coffee, but you don't live in specialized housing, you think homeless people do. And then you just put the pod in and flip it and you have coffee. Not somebody else has to give you coffee. And I think you understand why those structures are still there. Okay, I explained it to you. Okay, you never came out of what you're calling COVID. Okay, the other stuff had to end because it was straight out murdering us. So Almighty God had a Starbucks so that we could go in and get a hot water and have coffee. Because we don't have an apartment. We don't have a plug to plug in a coffee maker and make it. So you broke that agreement, so you're not having a Starbucks. And probably Dunkin' Donuts next. Dunkin' Donuts will allow us to buy hot water so far. Not you have to purchase another product on top of that. Okay. You should be staying in your housing for the most part. Okay. That's where the coffee makers are. Like my sister doesn't go and buy coffee. She doesn't go and order a slave to make her a cup of coffee. She has the pods and makes her own coffee. Just as an example, Tom Kent actually stopped and he got to the point where it was becoming really difficult to make his own coffee. He wasn't going and having a slave making him coffee. He wasn't going and having a slave making him pizza because he listened to what I was saying and it made sense to him.